Hey everybody, welcome to Camping with Steve. I'm camping today in a vintage 1977 GMC Frontier motorhome. I mentioned on social media that this was the exact motorhome I owned about 15 years ago when I lived in it. And I found one after a long search. And, oh, this takes me back. This takes me back. A lot of blind spots here. So we're going to have a nice relaxing camping trip today. No stealth for me. It snowed and it's kind of cold, so we're just going to stay warm in here doing some winter camping. Here it is, my Sanford & Son style motorhome in all its brown and orange glory. This beauty has 54,000 original miles on it, and it's in surprisingly good shape. Not a leak in sight. It's getting harder and harder to find places that sell leaded gas, so there's this lead substitute that I can add in, because this engine was designed for this stuff. This camper came with a lot of stuff, so we're going to get some stuff set up out here, make it look more like a comfortable campsite, and scare off anybody from camping beside me. This one window got smashed, so it's just plexiglass, but it's working okay. The driver's side door doesn't work, so you have to go in through this one, or you can unlock this and just use this. The charge controller doesn't work to charge the house battery for the lights, so if I want any lights, I have to hook up another battery with jumper cables. Beautiful. Got light already. So this will be a fun time kind of setting things up. It's the first time camping in here for me, and this thing is spot on identical to the one I had. Same year, same wallpaper, same linoleum. Mine didn't have an ashtray, but this is just kind of in here. It's not attached. But yeah, this is a pretty good little rig in fantastic shape, and I'll show you more about that. These seats are in amazing condition. Even the spot right here where the driver would climb in, that normally gets all crushed, but maybe because they're getting in the other side. Now the windshield washers come out in rhythmic squirts. It's not constant like the modern impeller pumps, so it's a little bit to get used to. And one of the wipers is wonked over backwards, so it'll take some work. But it's not bad. There's no leaks. This cupboard up here by the top bunk has this beautiful amber plastic thing. Looks like where people would keep their liquor and paraphernalia. And even got a board game in there. Mastermind. Never played it, but we'll see. And there's a closet down here too. It's got a little, ooh, you can really smell the mothballs. They linger. There is a bar there so you can hang your clothes on. This thing comes with a gravity furnace, which is keeping the chill off. It doesn't use any electricity. The hot air comes out there. Cool air goes in the bottom. It's horribly inefficient. But I'm glad it's not using electricity because we're using that rickety jumper cable setup outside. I need to give stealth camping a little break in this area because even though I've turned down every interview request trying to stay stealthy, they still did this story. So, I'm gonna have to hit the road here in a little bit if I want to pull those stunts again. But for right now, just having a nice relaxing evening. And we're gonna have some fun. Got a great meal planned tonight, and it is sure cozy in here. I picked a campsite close to the washrooms, right there. Not flush toilets, but that's okay. In the off season, this campsite's $13 a night. You heard me right. 13 bucks a night. And not a soul in sight. This is only a 20-foot long motorhome, and that includes the extension on the back, but it still has a 3-burner stove with oven, refrigerator of course, and it has a full bathroom with shower. And that always turns into storage, of course. And the top turns into storage as well, because it's just little old me here. But this could sleep a family of 4 quite comfortably. Actually, not very comfortably. But It's only 20 feet long. It fits in a normal parking stall. I can take this through drive-thrus. Shelter's set up, and I can think of nothing better to do right now than whip up a quick Harvey wallbanger. There we go. Aha! Got to keep it light because it's a little early in the afternoon. Wish I had some ice. Cheers. It's like an orange Julius. All the little gems you find in a used camper. Little fly swatter. National Geographic. It's tons of storage. Oh, of course. Oh my. There's a mattress pump in here as well. It's a good bit of storage. A bunch of coat hangers up here. Get this jacket off because it's getting a little warm. There's a black light. Won't be turning that on in here. Given the year of this, the high beam switch is beside the brake pedal by the hole in the floor. And there's a few other things that you don't see these days, which can be modified to work. Cigarette lighter. You can take that out, put in a little phone charger. Slides right in. The cassette tape deck. I can use one of these adapters. Plug that right into my phone. We got music. Kind of, if it works. Alright, so if you didn't grow up in the 70s, or at least watch that 70s show, you've probably unsubscribed by now. And I don't blame you, but I just wanted to have fun on this one. So we're having a fun little 70s camping trip. It is getting dark, it is getting chilly. I got some food, staying cold out there in the snow. And I'll get a fire going in a little bit, but I'm just going to spend a little bit more time staying warm, hunkering down, and listening to music in my awesome little 70s motorhome. The first two additions I'm doing to this motorhome are a fire extinguisher and a smoke/carbon monoxide detector. Now, these combo units are all over the place now, and you know, smoke rises, carbon monoxide's a little heavier than air, so that settles. And typically, I guess 2 would be better, but carbon monoxide is only slightly heavier than air. Air is 1.0, carbon monoxide is 1.06. So it's only slightly heavier than air, and any slight breeze is just going to move it all around through here. So I'm going to leave this right by the furnace, because that's what scares me the most in here. And not so high that it's going to catch the cooking over there. So just stick it on there somewhere. There's already a screw hole here. Getting toasty in here. Just going to get the fondue started here because it's just an appetizer. I'm not doing a whole big production with it. The main meal is going to be a little tuna helper here. And the absolutely brilliant thing about tuna helper is you don't even have to brown ground beef. Just throw it all in. Just exactly what I like. I don't want to use the drain here because it is below freezing tonight, and I haven't tested out the water system in this thing, so just storing my extra stuff that I can dump out. Okay. course the recipe says to boil the water first before you dump it in, but I'm sweating like I'm at a disco here. So I'm going to throw it in at the 425 that it claims to want. And there we go. I'll start a timer for 30 minutes. Granny Smith apples, some focaccia, and cherry tomatoes. Wonderful. Why did this ever go out of style? This is amazing. Wow, that fondue is good. So, 20 minutes left on the hamburger helper, and I'm going to go out and start a fire. Just use some of the fondue fuel, because that should work pretty good. It is nice and cool out here. I can burn off the cardboard from the hamburger helper. Ha ha ha. I can destroy this little piece of evidence. Oh, you can smell that tuna. It's pretty liquidy. I don't know how to thicken that up. Thing was desperately needing cheese anyhow. I'm going to stir in a little cheese, sprinkle some on top. There we go. Alright. Okay, that should thicken. Maybe. It's a little runny. That's alright. I just kind of eyeballed the ingredients. I discovered in the back of the drawer with the ashtrays is this Company's Coming casserole cookbook, which could have provided a lot more interesting things than tuna helper, but I'm trying to keep it as authentic and lazy as possible. So here we are. Let that congeal, and I'll get to go out and look at the fire for a bit. I have to keep switching between this jacket and my other one. It's either too hot or too cold. But wow. Pretty good night. It's a little cloudy. Expecting a little more snow, but it's good to be out here kind of camping. I know this isn't much of a camping trip, but it's so good to have a campfire, and it's so good to get away from reality for even a short break. The main course I'm excited about, it's solidified a little. I don't know why everything is so gelatinous, but oh yeah. I haven't enjoyed tuna helper since I was a child, so this is a throwback for me a little bit. And if If I had to go back and do it all again, I would have explored one of the recipes in that cookbook over there. But fondue was the star of the show tonight. And we'll try to get this smell out of the motorhome tomorrow on the drive. But it's pungent, and I wouldn't do this in grizzly country or anything. Time to relax a little bit. Enjoy some entertainment for the evening.
Well, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail and the title of the video, we're heading to an abandoned power plant. I'm not going to labor this hike out there because everybody's just going to skip forward till we get to the power plant. So let's go.
This was one of my favorite videos. This and the river trips. They were just great.
There we go.
For dessert, I got one of these Jello things with marshmallows in it.
Okay, obvious basement. And we'll see what happens with that. We don't walk. Very good.
What a time to be alive.
Things like that. I'm guessing
It is somewhat satisfying to sit and watch an old episode. You know, I kind of forget how fun it was when I was doing those videos. And it's nice to have that reminder. But I got to take another look at the fire. It is still pretty warm in here, so I want to cool down. Right off to bed, guys. Gonna get that set up, and things will be all right. They don't make the asbestos sleeping bags anymore. Oops, these things are in the way all the time. But they don't make those asbestos sleeping bags, which were really good for fire resistance. But good luck finding them. Even Marketplace doesn't have any. But just a normal poly-filled flannel-sided one is going to be just what I need for the night. Have no problem here. Woo! There we go. And yeah, it's been a strange evening. Fun one for me, so it's been 3 videos that were a little bit... They were fun, but they weren't the warmest, they weren't the most comfortable. So I'm indulging myself on this one and just gonna hunker down for the night and get out of these shoes. Night, guys. Oh, good morning, my groovy friends. Got a little chilly. I had to rig this up to try and keep the heat in. And that little furnace, like, I would say around freezing, around 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. That's pretty much the limit. I can't read the rating plate on it, but I'm guessing it's 10,000 BTU input, which means it might be 5,000 or 6,000 BTUs that it actually produces here. Well, now I really remember all the condensation that goes on when you're camping in a motorhome. It's the little things I forgot about. Because like I got so used to that when I was living in the thing. It was just a part of daily normal life. And you can crack windows to get ventilation. They have those little moisture absorber things that can help as well. But you're never going to get completely rid of it. So getting the engine warm here to defrost this all out and dry out a bunch of this moisture in here. Okay, yeah, I'm all packed up. I forgot just how carefully you have to go over everything. Make sure nothing's gonna fly off the counters. when you start driving, particularly things like a lava lamp. You don't want a mess like that. So yeah, it was just a basic, not really camping, just slept in a motorhome last night, but it was a fun trip for me, and I'm gonna figure out how to stay warm on the next video, because it's gonna be cold like this for a few more weeks here, at least, sadly, and I'm really just too old for this cold. So I'm gonna put my brain to it and figure out what to get done for the next one, where I can stay warm, stay comfortable, and hopefully the next one should resemble camping a little more than this. If you like this type of thing, please subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Just gonna get out of this old campground here. Cheers, everybody.